Right, hi everyone. It's been a while, but Andrew and I are back to make your lives infinitely better. So, hi Andrew.
Hello, I'm looking forward to this because I think me and you have got just ultimate wisdom. There isn't anything that we can't handle
Exactly.
because
Any
we can do it
questions?
in the mix, and if you etc.
Well, yeah, that song, hip hop, hipper to the hop. But yeah, if people in the chat have questions, we've had a few. Had a good response from the last one. So I've got a few questions lined up that Andrew and I are gonna just try and help people's lives get better, just for you guys to be better people, um, and that's what we're here for. So,
Well, I mean, we've seen and done it all, Adam, haven't we?
mm,
I mean, the reason that we spend our time on YouTube now is because what else is there to do in life?
well, that's it. Life is a computer game, and I would say we've both completed it. So,
I've not only completed it, but I've also replayed the game 7 times, and each time I've done it, I've got a higher score.
well, yeah, exactly. I mean, you have to go back and get all the trophies as well. So, yeah. Well, Jay, why don't I pay my taxes? That is because I live in Guernsey.
J Reviews is here. Hey, J Reviews. Hey, Daniel.
Hey, Jay. Hey, Daniel. Hey,
Hey,
Amelia.
Crunkle. And hey, Amelia. Nice to see you. And Soph is in the house as well. I've seen the comment that you left with regard to the last video I made.
And hi, Judith and Rocca and Corey. That's Crunkle's real name, by the way.
Hi, Rocker.
So, are we ready for the
Hey, Chris is here as well.
Hey, Chris. So, are you ready? Are you ready for our first question of the evening, Andy?
I certainly am. Crack
I
on.
think this first question is going to be right up your street because you're into sort of bollocks. Um,
What, like, what you mean? Right, never mind.
not the ones that you get when you go cottaging. Just sort of myths and
Just
legends.
general
Yeah,
genitalia of males,
yeah.
bollock. That's
No,
fine. That's fine.
no. Well, that's actually
Oh,
not.
I thought you meant something else.
Well, what does agony and ecstasy mean? And that's from Colin, who's 53. And so, what does agony and ecstasy mean to you?
Hmm. Ecstasy to me is. Have you ever been in that situation as a male? This may not apply to our female. Well, maybe actually. When you're younger and you're in the you're in your front room or whatever, and your parents have gone out, and you decide to pleasure yourself, and then just at that moment where you're about to come to a conclusion,
Yes.
someone walks in the door and you've got to hold it.
And that's ecstasy, like
And
those.
that moment where
Well,
it's contained and you can't let the seed of life flow.
yeah. Well,
That's ecstasy.
that's quite a good analogy. I would say for agony is probably being stuck on the side of the M4 with your balls caught in the closed car door, waiting for the AA to arrive for an hour. Uh,
I've noticed though both our answers have related to the male genital,
they are so.
us mauling with our own bits.
Well, what does that say about us? Just cock fiends.
I know.
um, yes,
Means
so
we're obsessed with our penises. Do we know anybody else like that?
I think I might know of one young old man who is like that. Oh,
We've just got a question
yeah,
within the stream.
excellent. This is a good one. This is very good. Tom, you feel lost in life. What can you do?
Alcohol.
Yeah, alcohol is a good start. Always a good start. Basically, anything that makes you feel good, like just sitting in your pants, eating biscotti, watching daytime TV. Everyone, that will certainly give you purpose. I would say,
I The key to happiness is not accepting responsibility. So this is what I think you should do. Go and find your local bar or saloon or public house and sit in front of that bar, saloon or public house in, just as Adam mentioned, your underpants.
Yeah.
With a supply of very strong, cheap lager.
Well, exactly. If you go out and get drunk without your clothes, you don't have to worry about losing them.
Yeah. And also, you don't have to worry about whether got the latest trends or fashion or anything like that. When you drink, if you have a sense of responsibility, which I lost long ago, and you shouldn't have anyway, drinking will slowly get rid of that. And when people are walking out of the local saloon, bar, or public house, you can immediately judge them and put them down.
Yeah.
And that will immediately make you feel better about yourself.
Exactly.
And you've got the added bonus of having self-esteem from the alcohol.
Yeah.
And because you're drinking cheap lager, you can resupply yourself with it very easily.
Yeah. And I mean, even if you can't, probably hang around outside the off license just asking everyone for 50p. Eventually someone will give it to you. So that's hey Wallace, but that's some fantastic advice there. I think that's how to not feel lost in life. That is purpose, if ever there was one. So Rockabye Baby has asked, where do babies come from? Mostly me. Yeah, so
mostly. Well, what about the rest of the time?
Well, a few other people have been allowed to impregnate people, but mostly like people just heard I had the best sperm, and like a lot of guys, you might sleep with a guy this evening, he's probably got a bag of my sperm hidden. It was quite well marketed, and that's what it'll spray into you, and that's why we'll start seeing a lot more handsome babies.
We can only hope so, because there's a lot of fucking ugly babies in the world, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. Well,
it's like the moment where you're in your local pub, saloon, or bar, and someone that you don't know but kind of know comes up to you and says, here's a picture of my baby that I've had recently, or something like that. And then they happen to throw in the mix that they're entering them into some kind of baby beauty pageant. And you have to pretend that baby is attractive when really it looks like it's just had its face repeatedly slammed with a sledgehammer.
Well, I actually think that in that case, personally, I'd beg to differ. I'd say honesty is the best policy, and I would just look at that picture and I would look at the parents, like sort of slowly, like look at the picture, look back to the parents like a double take, and then I'd just look at the parents and I'd go, that is never gonna fucking win anything, and then I'd rip the photo in half.
I'd have to. That's a great idea.
So next time someone shows you their baby photo and says they're entering them in a pageant, you know what to do.
We're getting some more questions here, Adam.
Oh, have we got more questions? How do I?
So from Daniel.
Oh, sorry, Daniel, I missed that.
What would you guys do if you know 100% someone digs you, but you don't want to break their heart? Right, very easy, Daniel. 3 simple words. I am gay.
Perfect. What more do you need? And I mean, it does have a tendency to backfire. And when you're with your mates down the pub and she demands you suck him off, you know. But that's the one way not to break her heart.
We could another way is I'm not gay, but I'll learn.
Well, but that's a bit harsher, because it's a bit like, well, I don't want to tell you that I want to break up with you, but I'm going to become gay just to get rid of you. It's sort of a bit in your face, isn't
it's all about interpretation. It's not up to Daniel how they interpret what he says, and it's simply better than fuck off, you ugly, you fat bitch, isn't it?
Well, true, exactly. Although in the right occasion, those words could and should be used.
Exactly. If someone who's ugly who's a fat bitch.
No, we've gone too far. Yeah. So right, let's. So what other questions did we have?
Terry Moore, would you like to address that one?
I have to scroll back up. How do I get the ghost of my deceased ex-husband to stop haunting me? Well, it really depends, because if it's the kind of ghost that just sort of leaves a bit of ectoplasm on your face, I know Andy's suffered from one of those ghosts for many years, just wakes up in the morning, sort of blob of ectoplasm running down his cheek, just wash your face, is what I say.
It depends why the ghost of your ex-husband is harassing you. Is he still got a thing for you? If he has, you need to do something that would instantly turn him off you. In other words, I always struggle with the idea of a woman having a poo, so I'd be constantly on the toilet. He doesn't want to see that.
What?
That'll get rid of him.
Right. So just stay on the toilet until the ghost leaves.
Exactly.
Right, okay.
You get sick of seeing that.
True. Just, yeah. Eat some old prawns.
Stop shaving your armpits.
Some people like that, apparently. That might have sounded like I like that. I don't like that.
It did, actually.
Rock Runs Rampant had quite a serious question before.
Who did?
Rock, but one I could answer that easily, because it just said about getting a job where you'd be happy or where you'd get more money. Go for the job you'll be happy, of course. That doesn't. No one needs money except for me, and you will all be charged at the end of this session. But you'll be fine without it.
Yeah, I expect massive donations on my channel, not Adam's. Mine. Well, Andrew Burkett's channel. Donate after this stream or else.
Right. So have we caught up on all the questions? Soph Sakini's asked us to try to eat our fists.
I can't.
Don't think it'd be very interesting without video. No, I don't think I don't really want to fist anything. Oh, we've missed Chris's question. What do you do if you like sucking penis but you have a really big gag reflex? Practice.
You don't want to know, Mercedes.
Practice makes perfect. So yeah, I would say, Chris, just go down on as many guys as you possibly can. Just sort of wait outside public toilets or in the toilet. It'd probably get more action. Just be like some kind of weird toilet butler, but like be on your knees, and then when people are finished going for a whittle, just go, "Oh, would you like me to clean that up, sir?" I'm sorry, that was fucking disgusting.
Adam, there's no need for that. Why? You always have to go too far, don't you? And we had a conversation before the stream started, and I said, Adam, you have a tendency to fly off the handle and just go too far no matter what our topic is, and you've done it again.
Yeah, well, that's I'm
going to have to
that's what I'm here for.
Right, the question
of
what hang on a sec. I just read it and it scrolled down. Daniel's asked about we'll have to be slightly serious for a minute. Daniel's asked what can we expect from the Ramona interview. She did agree to it initially. Ember gave her my Skype details, but she's not responded yet. So she may be busy. If you want to know, like, if you're asking what sort of context it's going to take, it's going to be questions more about her rather than about Lorne, if that makes any sense. I don't really want to say any more than that. It's going to be about her and her motivations and things like that. That's pretty much.
I hope you're not going to go too soft. I hope you're going to get into the belly.
Well, I mean, you know what I wanted to ask.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. Chrissy girl. Hey
Oh,
Aunt
hey,
Adam.
Chrissy.
Hey Aunt. And hey Chrissy. Mercedes threatening has always worked on me. The hot, beautiful Emily's in the house.
Jay, we will watch your video. I looked on your channel because it said Jay Reviews, and I thought, oh, this guy's pretty cool. And then you had no videos, and now apparently you've got a video. So one day I will see that. Ramona is black. We do know that for a fact, but I didn't think she sounded it. But someone got very angry on one of Andy's videos at me because I thought that she sounded Jewish, New York Jewish. But I don't think it was that far-fetched.
I don't know what you mean. Make a fist.
Right,
Emily said, make a fist with both hands, making sure your thumbs are covered. It's medical.
Well, now I can't type. Not that I had to type. Right, I've got another question because we're getting on to lawn talk, and this is about making your guys' lives better. So I've got.
But if you look at lawn, your lives will be better.
Well, that's very true. But, you know, we're trying to help people directly now. This is a public service. So this is a question.
It's not a public service. We want money.
Well, this is from David, who is 29. And he says, my brother has been wearing extremely revealing shorts around the house. Mum and Dad won't say anything as they are so proud of his balls. But I don't want to see them every morning while I'm eating my cornflakes. How do I approach him?
Tell him to come and live at my house.
There you go. So, well, yeah. Any guys that like showing their balls, there's a spare room at Andy. Well, probably his room at Andy's for you. So, yes. Let's. Well. We've got more questions. They seem to be kind of taking a similar theme. This is I lost a pepper shaker in my rectum and I'm not sure how to get it out. Please help, from Colleen. 36.
I believe, Adam, from what you've told, from what you've said about yourself and mine, that you'd be more qualified to answer this, so I'm going to let you go with it.
Well, I would deal more in the kind of the excuse area of this. Like, when you get, I would say go to the hospital would be a reasonable approach. But when they say, how did you get the pepper shaker up your arse? Say, I was locked myself out of my house, but one of the upstairs windows was open, so I tried to climb up to find it. I put the pepper shaker on the ground to mark, so I remembered where I'd climbed up the house, and then I fell as I was climbing up, and I landed on the pepper shaker, and it went up my arse. I'm sorry, officer.
I knew you had more experience with this kind of thing.
So, yeah, that's what I would do. Just go to the hospital with that kind of story. This one is how can I get more pussy? From Brian, who is 9.
What kind of pussy is he talking about?
Well, I think he means girls.
I'm disturbed that he knows what that means at that age.
Did I steal that, Liz? I didn't. Apparently, there's a word for this. I've subconsciously stolen someone else's joke. There's a word for doing this. Apparently, I stole that from Ricky Gervais. I apologise, Liz.
To be fair, you do steal a lot of things from Ricky Gervais.
Yeah, but normally I quote him because I didn't realise. I actually thought I stole that story from my friend who was a paramedic.
Someone in the chat called Ramona Armstrong.
Have you seen the picture?
I can only see it like dead small, but it looks like a big black guy to me.
Yeah. No, there's a whole episode of Louis C.K. on what this is, Chris, on what it is when you accidentally steal someone's joke, because he had a big falling out with another comedian, and it's happened many, many times. Mercedes, will ever get a P.O. box? I don't know how to in Spain. Right. So how is Brian going to get more pussy? So
Well, he's 9, so he's got a lot of options.
yeah,
The good thing about him is he can sleep with 13-year-olds and actually get away with it.
well, I wouldn't encourage him to have sex, but if he wants to impress the ladies, I would say clear my throat. I think I'm just talking low, aren't I? That's made it worse. Um, I think I would at that kind of age, I was probably performing dances to impress the ladies. Just learn the Nutcracker and perform that on the playground, and girls will flock to you. That would be my advice to a young Don Juan.
I'll go with that.
Yeah. Well, I think we're nearing the end of the question. Oh no. My goat has been looking seductively at me. What do I do? And that's from Bill, who's 63.
Are these are not questions in the stream, are they?
No, these were sent into my inbox.
Oh, sorry. Would you just read that again, Adam?
Hang on. My goat has been looking seductively at me. What should I do? Bill, 63.
I mean, it's a difficult one, isn't it? I would suggest maybe sacrificing the goat to his god.
Really?
Yeah.
I would fuck it.
No, I didn't say don't fuck it. I would
Oh,
sacrifice the goat to his god. See if he gets a response from his god because he's just sacrificed the goat.
right.
If he doesn't get a response from his god, when he killed the goat, just chop its head off so you've still got the body. So then, if you don't get a response from the god, fuck the dead carcass of the goat. If you do get a response from the god, no matter what that response is, fuck the head, the decapitated head of the goat. That's my advice.
Well, that is definitely thinking outside the box, and I appreciate that. That's why you're here, Andy, because I prefer a live goat. I mean, if but
Yeah, but he can't anger his god though.
why? Well, okay, yeah. The goat is 13 goat years.
No, but in goat years, because I was going to
Yeah.
say in goat years that's probably like a pensioner.
Yeah, no, yeah, I don't know.
How long do goats live? Does anyone know?
Probably 5 years.
So it'd be like the equivalent of a fucking 250-year-old woman.
Well, yeah, nothing wrong with a 250-year-old woman.
Sounds ridiculously appealing, that doesn't it?
Well, if you like gum jobs. Right. So, do we have any more questions coming from the chat, guys? Well, John, I'm amazing at GTA.
Oh, you had to go below the belt, didn't you, John?
Andy's got a question for your sister, John. Why is she so sexy?
How did I ask that question without even saying anything?
You told me. You told me to ask John's sister. You told me to ask John if he'd ask his sister out for you.
I'm surprised Chris hasn't asked in the chat.
No, this is true. So yeah, that's what happens, John. When you ask a ridiculous question, you get destroyed live. It's fucked up. I'm sorry. Right. Come on, guys. Let's be serious. We've been serious all through this, and now you're all messing it up. I'm going to get very upset. So let's, because I've only got one more question in my box, in my jolly jar. So Why doesn't Lorne get a hairpiece? I mean, we're back to Lorne, but it's quite an interesting question.
I can't really answer that because I've been wearing a hairpiece all week. But
yeah.
I kind of
that was a second use for the goat fur, wasn't it?
It was, and unfortunately, I was walking into my local, loft license to buy the cheap, highly strong lager, and someone laughed at me, so I can't wear it anymore.
Just get a Boston Red Sox hat, probably.
Well, I've already got a Boston Red Sox cap. I'm gonna have to start wearing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I've made a video about the Lorne hair thing, and I still don't understand why. I wonder what it'd look like if you shaved it all off. Like I do, because I just get a razor to it all and just get rid of it. And I started doing that as soon as I noticed my hair was falling out, and no one thinks any different of me now. People, if I suddenly had hair, I'd look like a twat.
Yeah. Well, that's it. It's a good idea to shave your hair off. So that's more wisdom for people out there. If you're losing your hair, shave it off. John's got a serious question. We're back to TCAP, but I don't think people mind. Do you think there was one genuine predator, and can you name them? Oh yeah, I think there was more than one that I can name. Well, what do you think, Andy? There was definitely genuine predators. What? I don't really understand the question, John. Do you mean like you were sympathetic to all of them?
So do you think there was one genuine predator? I think, does he mean like serious 100% paedophile? Because some of them weren't. I don't want to get caught up on the wordplay thing again, but
yeah, well, let's just say predator then. We know, like, someone who tries to have sex with an innocent or someone who's underage.
Well, they all did.
Well, exactly, but okay, but yeah, they, of course. I mean, Molester Beck was one of the worst, wasn't he?
McFetridge was a proper paedophile. I think the worst one. It's not even the question, but the worst person out of all of TCAP, and if it includes Hansen versus Predator, which isn't the question, was
John Dupree.
Michael Gentile from Hansen versus Predator.
I don't know.
What do you think, Adam?
I think there was loads who were proper predators who were literally setting out. I mean, there was loads who were caught with child porn on their computers. There was, I mean, all right, some of them may have made just a mistake and can get on with their lives or whatever, but some of them had like I don't know, they were proper, I mean, they were all, they're definitely on different degrees of evil, but they're all kind of evil. Does that make sense? It's like they're all bad people for doing it, but there's some of them who would do much worse things.
Yeah, there's obviously different degrees, isn't there? There's no doubt about that. And Daniel wants to know, do you think the new Hansen versus Predator was a one-time thing? It seemed to me Hansen versus Predator was only something to get Chris Hansen back on TV, and he got a job with. Sorry.
And yeah, no, I'm really disappointed in Chris Hansen because he was like my favourite troll. But that whole thing about Hansen versus Predator, all of it pisses me off. Like the whole Kickstarter campaign and not giving people what they've been promised, and it's like he's a bit of a scammer himself, Chris Hansen, and it kind of pisses me off because it's meant to be a show that's stopping people doing bad things, but I mean, obviously it's not on the same scale, but they're still doing a pretty bad thing. You know, it's like what Lorne did, like taking people's money and not giving them what they expect in return.
Yeah, and the first Mrs. R, and we're still going to do the video together, aren't we? When I log on to Skype, the first Mrs. R, you're busy, so we'll do the chat soon. But you said, you know, do you prefer one or the other? I thought we'd answered that question. I don't like Hansen versus Predator. I think it's poorly produced. I think it's dramatised. I think Chris Hansen's a bit of a twat in it. He insults them. which, you know, you might argue he's perfectly entitled to do, but let the audience make their own mind up about it. It's not his job to sit there and condemn them, and
It's like they've taken a
it's
brilliant
kind of
show.
our job to do that.
They made out like they were going to it was just going to be TCAP on a different channel, but it wasn't at all, was it? They just like made it shit and took loads of people's money for it.
Daniel, are you being serious? I didn't know that Chris Hansen was on The Simpsons. Are you taking the piss?
I know he was on South Park, but I don't know if they had him in an episode of South Park, but I don't know if it was his real voice.
We're not talking about South Park. I said The Simpsons.
Yeah, all right.
Fucking hell. Well, why are you answering a completely different question?
Oh.
Why didn't you just say, oh, well, he just said...
This is...
He just said, oh, well, did you see him on The Simpsons? And then you go, yeah, well, I think he was in... I think he appeared in a cameo in The Great Escape. Yeah, what the fuck's that got to do with anything?
Yeah, well, anyway, you didn't know, so that's that. The first Mrs. Rutherford has asked me a really good question here about the IRS scams and what changes have been made over time. Their script is, especially in the last couple of months, has got much more sophisticated. They're actually looking up legal codes and getting more or less the correct codes and things like they have the right form numbers. However, the penal codes or the like law codes that you're supposedly going against are all made up. But now they actually talk about the correct tax form numbers, which they never did before. So it's getting more and more sophisticated. I mean, to you and me, like, we all know about them, so it doesn't sound that sophisticated. But to like people that don't know, it's getting scary because it's going to sound more real, and some of their accents seem to be getting better as well. Mercedes, I'd love that if you would be so kind, if you've got some numbers for me. If they're really recent, the only thing is because sometimes if they're more than 2 or 3 days old, they'll be down already. But if they're recent, if you could send them to my inbox, I would really appreciate that. That'd be fantastic. Yeah. So yeah, guys. Have we got lots of dislikes? I didn't even notice.
Yeah.
How many?
Have a look.
I can't see. I'm in the stream channel page. I could open another page.
9. I'm very disappointed in everyone.
Wow.
Very disappointed.
9 dislikes. I think maybe some people didn't get it. It was probably talking about fat bitches.
I know, that's your fault.
You said it.
Yeah, but you told me to say it.
Yeah. Oh well.
It's not my fault people don't have a sense of humour.
Yeah. Well, there we go. Yeah, fuck the haters. They're still coming to watch. So.
Yeah, and why? If you dislike it, why don't you tell us?
Why? Yeah.
Don't just click dislike. Tell us what the crack is.
We've got lost in the likes and dislikes. I don't really give a fuck. Let's get back to giving advice. A little more advice.
Just as Adam pours another beer.
Tinder for me. For a project, because I want his feelings on internet dating. I thought it would. I couldn't use myself as the decoy because I'm just too handsome. It wouldn't be realistic.
That's very true. Even I agree with that. Apparently, Daniel, it is true. I don't know first-hand information, but I've been told by a few people that if you put a video up about James Rutherford, it gets taken down pretty quickly. So it must be a bit weird though if he's on YouTube typing his name in every day to see if there's new videos. I don't quite understand it.
Yeah. It was it him? I think there was a few of them that have complained about some of the videos. Oh, Mercedes, I meant you could inbox the scam numbers to my YouTube. Rockabye Baby says, should she be counting her pubic hair daily or once a week?
Well, you've got to count the hairs down there quite often,
Exactly.
according to a certain someone that we know. So I would suggest every day.
Well,
I mean, and
it
then you
really
know where you're up to. I mean, you don't want any mistakes in that area, do you? Because I get asked that question every day. I'm currently up to 362.
I think it really depends if you've got 10 or more down there. Because if you've got more than 10, I would say yeah, every day. But if you've got less than 10, leave it a week. Probably won't be that much more the next week.
Are we talking about hairs or follicles?
What's the difference?
Well, because you wouldn't have the hair if you shaved it or waxed it, but the follicle would still be there.
Well, you
Get what I'm
can't get rid
saying?
of follicles. You have to wax follicles off, don't you? I mean, you can't get rid. You've always got follicles. Don't the new hairs grow out of the same follicles? If you got rid of
Yeah,
your
but it
follicles,
wouldn't. There
you
wouldn't be a hair there though if you'd shaved it, would there?
yeah, it'd still grow back.
Yeah, no, but if it was cleanly shaved, you wouldn't know how many you had, would you? Because you wouldn't be able to count them. Get what I'm saying?
Well, then never shave, basically. Don't
Yeah.
ever
So
shave.
that was going to be my advice.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then because if you do shave or wax or take care of yourself, then you've got a problem that you don't know how many you've got.
Exactly, unless you keep them in a bag, but then you have to go back and count them every day.
And it'd be very difficult to count them because how could you differentiate one from the other?
Yes, exactly. Well, you have to have 2 bags and take one out, put it into the other bag. Take one out, put it into the other bag.
That could be quite time consuming.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if you're going to be a professional pubic hair collector, that's what you've got to get used to. So
I hope we've answered that one for you, Rocker.
I think we have. Right. Why would you bag pubes up? No, we wouldn't sell them to. Why would Corey? Why would we sell them to prepubescent children so they can make pube wigs to get laid? What the fuck are you talking about? That's disgusting. So Corey.
He didn't say that. Your mind came up with that.
Well,
it was a simple question. Are you planning on selling them to prepubescent children? And the answer is no. Thank you for the question.
But what?
Well, to be fair, it depends how much money we'd make out of it.
Well, yeah, I don't think prepubescent children have much money.
If they have rich parents, they do.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, okay. Sell the pubes to the parents then, and then it's their decision, isn't it? We can't be blamed wherever those pubes go. First, Mrs. R's asking where you're going on vacation, Andy.
Where am I going on vacation? Did I say I was going on holiday?
Yeah, apparently.
When did I say that?
Alright.
I don't know. Well, I'm going to Cyprus in 3 weeks for a friend's wedding, and I'm going to Thailand, Koh Phi Phi, the island's called, in November, which is going to be cool because I'm into my lady boys, basically.
Excellent. That'll be Cambodia after that.
I love women with cocks.
He does. He really does. He goes mental for them. You should see him when he sees a tranny. He's like a dog running around, dog after a bone, literally with his tongue out.
Ramona Armstrong, I'm sorry, but I cannot answer that question. It's for various reasons. I just don't want to go into it.
It leaves an emotional scar on him.
No, don't take it personally. Even my own mother doesn't know what I do for a living, so don't worry about it.
Well, I would feel the same if I was a rent boy.
You fucking prick. Yeah, and who's my best customer? Adam.
Well, this is true. Bollocks, I'm out of beer. I've got some wine.
Amelia wants to know what advice there is for someone who's trying to sell used panties. She's asking for a friend. Well, let's kind of just assume that she is actually asking for a friend. So, Amelia. I mean,
Well,
there's a bit of
I,
investigating work that needs to be done here, isn't there? Why is your friend selling these used panties? Is it just their idea of a really prosperous business prospect?
well, it's better
I
than
mean,
getting
if,
a
if
real
Dustin
job.
McFetridge is your client, you quid's in.
Well, exactly. No, I think definitely it's a brilliant idea. Just put an advert on Craigslist and like, I mean, I'll sell my underwear for
I
fiver.
mean, to be fair, Amelia, if can you tell your friend to message me on YouTube, please, and we'll see if we can sort something out.
Um, yeah, yeah. I mean, just put an advert up. Just put it up here, and yeah, the first Mrs. R is right. They're actually in Japan. They have them in vending machines. People buy them from vending machines. Businessmen, they buy schoolgirls' panties in vending machines.
I mean, nothing. Sorry to go back to it again, but nothing's more ludicrous than Lorne
It's
um,
gym shorts.
selling his. He fucking did that, didn't he? He's, he tried selling his signed guitar for $1,000.
Yeah, well,
What on earth?
well, there you go. Well, if Lorne could set, well, he didn't manage to, but if Lorne can market his guitar at $1,000, I don't know how attractive Amelia's friend might be, but I would say probably in the same ballpark if you sell it to the right Japanese businessman.
Hey, Kayla's in the house. Hey, we've got two. We've got Lorne's two wives. We've got Kayla Moore and Ramona Armstrong.
Oh, fight, fight, fight.
Fight, fight, fight. Um, Mercedes said, "If you're willing to buy panties, just give me money." Well, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, well, brilliant.
Depends how long you've had them on for.
People are fucked, they buy anything, Hammy Turtle. But they didn't buy lawn shit, so people aren't that fucked yet. There is still hope for humanity.
What was the? I'm going to ask you a question, Adam.
Okay,
What was the? Okay.
okay.
What was the most
Do you have a question
ridiculous?
for me, precious?
What? Do you like my penis on my balls more?
My penis is your friend, and your vagina is my
Show
friend.
me your vagina.
Right, anyway, so what was this question?
It was. What do you think was the most ridiculous item that Lorne tried selling on eBay?
It's gym shorts by far. I mean,
Even more than the guitars and the.
if we think about it without the prices, if you take into account the price, then the price he asked for it makes it more ridiculous than it is to actually sell it. But to sell like your dirty old fucking gym shorts, who did he think is gonna buy them? Prison shorts, the fucking prison shorts that you've been anally molested in.
It's quite remarkable, really, isn't it? I mean, even like, do you think there's like a famous person in the world? Let's say, who's the most famous person in the world that's gone to prison? O.J. Simpson. Do you think he'd get that amount of money for his gym shorts from prison?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he probably would.
yeah.
Bad example. But yeah, I suppose with Lorne, for him to have the mentality that someone would buy and pay that money. I mean, what? What? Really?
Um, it's, but it was like more than celebrity prices, so it's just his delusion, though, isn't it? If we can discuss it, I mean, it just makes him look more stupid, though. It's just part of the crazy world of the crazy not understanding how anything works world of Lorne Armstrong. I mean, how the fuck he hasn't just walked off a cliff like a lemming this far, I don't know.
Maybe he has.
Yeah. He should have
Mercedes has asked me, I ain't selling my underwear. I'm just saving your face from STDs. So just give me the money for shirts and giggles.
for shirts and giggles.
Shits and giggles, alright. That's what a couple of beers does. Yeah, that's a good one. So Daniel, you think his journals is worth? No, I disagree with that, Daniel, because I would actually pay money for his journals. I'm actually interested to see what he would say. I wouldn't pay him money, but if someone else had possession of them and there was a reasonable price, I'd pay for his prison journals because I reckon there would be comedy gold in there. Do you agree, Adam?
I think they would be a very, very interesting thing to see, to read.
But I suppose what Daniel may be saying is that um, to sort of put the price tag on the journals that he did, I think it may have even been more than 1,000. Does anybody know what the maximum price was he put on an item? I think there was something more than 1,000. I may be wrong, but the guitar was 1,000 and something else. But yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty, pretty easy to say that it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
John's got a question for us.
Do I think they made them worse? Well, I think they would have always picked out the worst parts from the chat logs, but all of that stuff came from the Predator's minds. So
No, does he not mean once the Predators got caught, they became worse people? Is that not what you mean, John?
That's a different question completely. Well, why would they become worse people getting caught?
Well, Lorne has.
But Lorne
Potentially, that I think Lorne has.
With the I think Lorne gives us a bad representation. You would hope at least a few of them sort of sorted their lives out and realised going after children is wrong. But even Lorne hasn't gone after any other kids, but he's not moved on because he can't. Because that whole thing was the pinnacle of his life.
John's just sort of said that is what he meant.
Right.
With Lorne, it's made him worse because he didn't send Kayla pictures of him having a shit, did he?
No. Why would anyone ever do that anyway? Fucking hell. That's rancid. Right. So
I think that proves. Do you not think, Adam? And we're getting dark here, but there's no way of avoiding it. Do you not think that proves that how twisted and potentially dangerous Lorne is doing that? I know that might sound a bit strange because all he's done is send a photo of his shit, but why saying that though? We don't know. Does it make a difference? And we don't know why it was sent.
I think it does. I think we need to know the context. Like, was he like sending her that and going, "You're a piece of shit. Look at my shit," or was he? I don't know. People do some weird things, man. You don't know if there was even some encouragement. We've only been told about this. We don't know how it happened. Ugh. Let's not
rate my poo.
Oh.
Well,
that's it. I mean, did he just send
the beautiful Emily has said shit pics of the new dick pics. Let's hope not.
No, I don't want that. Well, I don't want dick pics either, really. But if you have to send,
you ask me for dick pics every fucking day.
Yeah, it's just to make me feel better.
Did it?
Yeah, of course it does.
Right, okay.
I can go, wow. Either I'm descended from giants or Andy's descended from midgets.
Ooh.
Sorry, that was. Well, I haven't actually seen your dick, so I can make fun of it being small.
So you didn't even look at them when I sent them? No, you horrible bastard!
They just went in the recycle bin. How am I going to get off on that? You hunched over a pillow. I saw the thumbnail. Didn't sort of Neanderthalic
Neanderthalic.
Neanderthalic. I don't know what you were doing. I just saw the thumbnail. It went in the recycle bin. I'm sorry.
Mercedes has said, have you guys seen One Guy in a Jar? I don't like the appeal of that.
I've heard about it, and no, I don't want to see it. Please, bloody chav stole me wheelie bin. Wait, should I say it posher or yeah? I think it's meant to be posh. I think I went a bit chav there. So, bloody chav stole me wheelie bin. Is that good?
Daniel's asked if I'll do a top 10 of like Hanson versus Predators, but the people from Hanson versus Predators, I don't think I can do that because most, if not all, of the videos I put up about the Hanson versus Predators got taken down for like copyright. So it'd be really difficult to do that. And we don't have the chat logs as well from Tetra Core, so I don't have enough to go on. So the answer to your question is no. Not that I wouldn't want to.
Yeah, would be good, but see, look at, they're still being bastards. Even after taking people's money, they won't let you make commentary videos about them.
I know.
You should try and mark them under fair use. Say that you're making, it's technically a review of it to an extent. I think you should be allowed to use them if you do that.
Sorry, what was that?
I think if you file it under like education and entertainment or something like that, then you can avoid a copyright strike because you can say it's my review or my commentary on this.
Yeah, you'll have to teach me on that. Serious question for Andy. What bin needs to go out tonight? Don't know what you mean, mate.
I think he means maybe the recycling or the normal rubbish. I don't know.
I shove it all in the same bin, to be honest. It sounds really bad, that, but yeah.
I think right. I think I've got one more question that we still haven't done, and then I think we're gonna finish up for the evening. Right. So this question is, I'm having feelings about men, especially since I started YouTube and making videos with some great guys. Now all I can think of is their cocks, and that's from Andy38.
Right, sorry, I was just doing something else then that I can't mention.
Did you not even listen to what I just said?
Something about people want my cock.
Well, my advice to Andrew is just get yourself out there. Probably don't go with those guys from YouTube, but just any cock you can find in the street. Just suck them all off, suck them and see.
Right.
Right, so on that note, guys, thanks for joining us. I'm not sure why we got so many dislikes, but fuck you all. But thanks for everyone who enjoyed it and stayed with us and hit that like button. And thanks for joining me, Andy. And I think we're going to probably do another one of these at some point. We might have some guests coming on in the future to tell us their problems live. So, yeah, thanks for joining us so much. And thanks, Andy.
Yeah, cheers. It's been a bit of fun.
All right, guys. Take care, everyone. Bye.